All right, let's try to prove the quotient rule. All right, so here's the statement. The derivative of f of x over g of x is equal to f prime of x times g of x minus f of x times g prime of x all over g of x squared. All right, so let's prove this. So I'm going to start with the derivative of f of x over g of x is equal to, using the limit definition, limit as h approaches 0, f of x plus h over g of x plus h minus f of x over g of x all over h. Right? To find the common denominator, I'm going to multiply the top and bottom of the first quotient by g of x, like that. And then top and the bottom of the second quotient by g of x plus h, like that. All right, then what you get is I'm going to pull out the h on the bottom, right? Then if you look at the common denominator, so put the common denominator here, and put the first term right there, and put the second term right there. All right, then I'm going to subtract and add f of x times g of x. So we have this, right? Then what we have is we're going to have the denominator g of x plus h times g of x. Pull that out, right? Then if you look at the two terms on top, you can see that the g of x is in common. So I'll factor it out. Then the leftover is f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. So I'll put it there. All right. Then if you look at the remaining two terms, we're going to pull out the, you can see that negative f of x is in common. So I'll just pull it out. And then here's the leftover and put it there. Right? So if you look at the limit of the first quotient on the numerator, this is the exact definition of f prime of x. Right? Then limit of g of x stays the same because it has nothing to do with h. Same with negative f of x. Right? Then if you take the limit of the last quotient here, that's the definition of g prime of x. Right? Then if you take the limit of g of x plus h, as x approaches 0, it's going to go to g of x. Then you have another g of x, you have g of x squared on the bottom. Right? So we get f prime of x times g of x minus f of x times g prime of x all over g of x squared, which is the right-hand side of the quotient rule. All right? That's it. I hope that this was clear.